All right, first on the agenda is our department head reports. We'll start with Patty, City Administrator.
Good evening. I wanted to let you know that the 2023 budget tonight will be another discussion regarding the budget. We have had many good discussions and I'm looking forward to the council's input moving forward. Our November public hearing for the budget will take place on November 16th at 5 o'clock. Department head meetings, I want to continue on with the department head meetings with our new department heads in attendance. We will be doing these monthly and this is a good collaborative discussion between all involved. Airport manager, public works director Jeff Mahoney and myself were still sharing duties as airport managers. And we recently attended the Wisconsin Aviation Conference in Eau Claire, October 3rd through the 5th. There was very good information shared with Jeff and myself, and we will be implementing what we learned moving forward. City Center, the building has a nice new update to the stucco. I'm sure you will notice the improvement there. The roof repairs have been updated as well. Yet this fall or early spring, we will be bringing the landscaping up to date with the west side being complete. Polk County Great Outdoors Fall Tourism Conference. Alderperson Sarah Flanham and myself attended the Polk County Great Outdoors Fall Tourism Conference at Lake Wapagasset Bible Camp on Thursday, October 13th. I was very impressed with the booths and the presenters. Sarah and I gleaned useful information. Moving forward, hope to implement what we learned. Sarah took lots of notes. So Amory Economic Development Corporation, I've been attending the AEDC meetings as the new city representative. I attended Polk County's EEDC's award meeting this morning. Many well-deserved nominees were in attendance. In the American Historical Society, I, along with Mayor Leonard, as well as other interested individuals, will continue to meet with the Historical Society group. There are concerns where they can house their large collection of historical items since they will be vacating space at the old hospital condominium next spring. I will be meeting on Thursday, October 20th at 4:30, and I will update the council when we hear anything. So Amory Community Center, Jeff and I did a review of the maintenance of the community center, and we'll give everyone an update to the final list with costs of the repairs needed there. WPCA radio station Coffee Klatch. I will start attending Coffee Klatch at WPCA the first Tuesday of the month at 9 o'clock a.m. And I look forward to giving updates for the city of Amory with Bob Zank. So I'm going to start doing that. And then the next city council meeting is November 2nd at 5. City of Amory budget hearing at 5 o'clock. And then committee of the whole meeting is after the budget hearing the same night. So any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Patty. Ben Jansen, clerk treasurer.
So like Patty said, a lot of budget work lately. I've been working with the auditor quite a bit. We're still waiting on some stuff from the state, like statement assessment, things like that to finalize it, but we're in a pretty good spot. Border review is tomorrow morning at 10. I don't think we'll have many people. Most stuff was solved during open book, which was nice. So they were busy and resolved a lot of issues, I think. Early voting starts next Tuesday for the general election on November 8th. Taylor and I have been getting a lot of absentee requests, and I'm betting we're gonna have a lot of early voters too. So that'll be good. While on the topic of elections, my special voting deputies will be going to the different facilities on November 3rd, and our pre-let and public test will be on November 4th, right here probably. So earlier this afternoon, we had training with Workhorse to get going on our new modules for special assessments and utility inventory, and to do training on utility billing. So we got the whole rundown. So we're feeling pretty good about that. And then not work related, but I get to go pheasant hunting later this week. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's about it.
Thanks, Ben. All right, Police Chief Jason Hickok, please.
Good evening. All right, during this past month, the police department has continued to maintain a very sustainable call volume as depicted by the end of the month review that I submitted to the council at the beginning of the month. We have recently posted the LTE police officer position and are currently taking applications to fill that position. The application deadline ends on November 7th, and we are tentatively planning on holding review or interviews the following week and are looking to hopefully have someone on board by the end of November or early December. Earlier this fall, the police department had received a $7,000 grant for funding. A portion of that grant money was used to purchase a ballistic shield that will be used for high risk weapons calls. That ballistic shield just arrived on Monday, and we're looking forward to implementing it and getting it out for the guys to use in case that call comes to us. Also, we are currently in a lease program with Axon, which deals with our body cameras. We just implemented the newer version of these body cameras, the version 3 that recently came out, and we just got those all out to the guys a couple days ago. The squad car that the council had approved last month was ordered with an unknown delivery date in 2023. We did make that small deadline window, so that was good. We had Officer Manager Heather Hegarty. We sent her out to a grant writing school in Green Bay to learn the art and to gain very valuable knowledge and insight on how to apply for grants. We're looking into available grants that the police department might be eligible for, and if we can locate some, we are going to apply for them. This last week, I attended the LPO school, which is the leadership of police organization schools. It's a week 1 of 3-week training. There's a week in October, a week in November, and a week in December. So far, the training was amazing. I took away a lot of useful theories and methods that we're already putting to use at the police department. So I look forward to the next 2 weeks of training. Going on, I have also identified several police department policies and procedures that are extremely outdated. And as of this week so far, I've started the very time-consuming task of going through these policies and trying to get them updated and up to par. So that's kind of going to be one of my many missions for the next couple months here. Any questions, concerns?
Thank you. Thank you. Fire Chief Chuck Crone.
Lined up, you're not gonna use that much time. Evening. We got word from Simon Fire and Equipment about our new tender. They were anticipating, or they're expecting that poly tank to be done in October. That got pushed out to mid to end of November. So I'm sure we're probably not gonna get to see that tender until, I'm guessing, late December, maybe January, but that's just a guess. I have no idea how long, but they're gonna be working on the truck while they're waiting for the poly tank to come. On Wednesday, October 12th, we had the fire prevention open house. We had a really good turnout. I'd like to thank firefighter Austin Visner and his wife Jordan, along with members of the fire department, for doing such a great job putting it together. Also, big thank you to Amory Chevy for donating a total of $1,000 and supplying all the food and drinks to our open house. Also, thanks to Amory Meat Locker for cooking all the brats and hot dogs. The fire department really appreciates your support. Sounds like we have a good partnership in the future with Amory Chevy. I talked to Tony quite a bit, and for future open houses, it sounds like a pretty good deal with Amory Chevy. Next is our Amory calendars are in. I think Ed White probably hand delivered to almost every business that is in town that supports us. So yeah, Amory calendars are in. Please stop by local businesses that are supporting the fire department and pick one up. Thank you to Clear Choice Printing for printing them, Cahill Studios for the amazing pictures that they took. And thank you to Amory Free Press for the outstanding ad that they put in the paper. Y'all did a fantastic job. I mean, those pictures were pretty sweet.
Mhm.
So thank you to all. Wherever your camera is, thank you to all. So, any question? All right, thanks. Go, Deputy.
Thanks, Chuck.
Heather, you're up. Heather Wired, our new library director.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I do have some updates, but I just first wanted to thank everybody for their warm welcome to me in this new position. I'm really excited to be here and serving the community and the library in this way. So on that note, I have received my public library director grade 1 certification, which is some necessary paperwork to do. And then I'm also happy to announce that we've just hired a new adult services librarian. So our 3rd full-time position is now filled. They will start next Monday. His name is Trevor Richards, and he has a lot of academic library experience, public library experience. He's done a lot of community outreach work. So I'm looking forward to having a full staff once again. Since our last meeting, we've held 12 programs with a combined attendance of 217. Brooke, our youth services librarian, hosted several no school events at the library. Some of those were after hours and some of those were during regular hours. And they were really well received. She had some open crafting sessions in the makerspace. She did a baking class where teens and tweens could learn how to make pumpkin spice Chex Mix. And needless to say, that was very popular. And we had a fall fairy story time with a special actor that came in and did fall fairy story time. We also participated in Ladies Night Out, and that was really fun, really well received. People came in and could do a craft and enter a drawing to win a basket of books. We participated in the Wisconsin Science Festival again this year. And what we did was hand out 20 science bags. They're STEM bags, and they had 5 different activities inside of them. Lots of information, resources, and it was all about learning different things about science in the state. And then finally, we have started adding some seasonal items to our library of things. So I'm really happy to say that our sets of snowshoes arrived and they've been cataloged. So we will have 2 sets of adult snowshoes and 2 sets of children's snowshoes. So people can check them out, explore the outdoors, enjoy the trails, enjoy the winter here in Amory. And then we're also in the process of trying to see if we can bring in some pretty big name authors to come speak, either combined at the school, do presentation for the school kids during the day, and then something for the general public in the evening, something like that. So we're talking to a few different authors to bring them in. Lastly, the finishes have been decided on for the new furniture, and sometime within the next 2 to 3 months, that should arrive. So that's what we've been up to. Any questions? Nope. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jeff Mahoney, Director of Public Works.
Good evening, everyone. As everybody can tell this month, the guys have been out flushing hydrants, winterizing them, getting everything set. But if you do end up with dirty water, if you let it run for 10 to 15 minutes, it should clear it up. And if not, give us a call at the shop and we'll come see what's going on. We're also out sweeping leaves and trying to patch up the streets. There's a lot of leaves out there this year. There's also been a lot of time spent at the city center here. I mean, we've had painters up here, landscapers, the new roof going on. So we're trying to run around and help out where we can. Patty took the other stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. We had our yearly inspection at the water system and everything went really well. They call it a sanitary survey for some reason, but passed everything with the DNR, so they're happy. Got the Whistler done. That's the yearly reporting on all our roads. We got to go through and rate them all. That's done. Then we had a water dig today again over on Sunflower Way, just a valve that was leaking. So we had to dig that up. Had a couple of curb stops we've had to do. And besides that, we're just keeping up with the day-to-day stuff and trying to keep everything going. Just a note, city parks and dump will be shut down November 1st. And Chuck, what month are you on the calendar? Don't all the firemen? No? I thought all firemen had to get in their little Speedo and stuff and.
On the calendar.
That's fine, I got it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd like to see me in a speedo.
Hey, Jeff, I have a quick question about the cleanup of the waterway. That's gonna happen before spring?
Clean up of the water, depends on what you're talking. We're gonna get it so it's gonna flow,
Okay,
but we've got to get the easement through and we did do an ordinance, so we should be okay.
Okay,
But yes, we'll definitely have that cleaned up as soon as it gets a little bit of frost, so we can get in and out of there without wrecking everybody's yard.
yeah, because it's important that it's done before. spring.
Definitely, it will
Right.
definitely be, I guarantee it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Taylor, I'm not gonna forget you. Deputy Clerk Treasurer Taylor Larson.
All right. At the end of September, I attended our first recycling committee, and at the committee, they decided that they had certain things that they really wanted to kind of work on and see. And one of them was they wanted to better understand the recycling process in the county. So Mike took on that he is gonna get in contact to try and figure out some of the different things that actually go into recycling in Polk County, and then they're gonna move on from there. And then I also took in early October some Badger Book training. Badger Books are what we use to check in people on election day. So we had kind of a refresher training, making sure our Badger Books are up and ready to go in order for the upcoming election. And just this week, we got our router in the mail. So we have a new router to hook all of our Badger Books into. So that'll be exciting to see how it works. Other organizations or other municipalities already had them, and they said they work better than the old ones. So that should be good. And then I've been working with learning different things in Workhorse lately. And we're trying to make it more efficient than it was in the past, which it's our software for utility billing, receipting, everything kind of like that. So we're trying to make it more efficient than it was in the past. And we worked with Workhorse today, one of the people there, to kind of set up some of the new things so it's better in the future. And we did third quarter utility bills. So if people haven't got them in the mail already, they should be getting them sometime this week. They went out some on Friday, some on Monday, so they should be expecting those in the mail. And then today I started the tax roll process. So anybody that had utilities that were past due on September 30th, that will go on their taxes if it hasn't been paid by November 15th. So they'll be getting letters in the mail telling them what they owe that needs to be paid before November 15th, or it will go on the tax roll. All right, anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. All right, number 2, pay application number 4 for the South Industrial Park. And we have Eric here to talk about that.
Hey, good
Hi.
evening. I thought I'd comment. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This is pay application for the South Industrial Park Road Project. Predominant costs in this pay application is really road building, gravel, curb and gutter, asphalt, and a bunch of other miscellaneous things too. Take this opportunity to say that we are wrapping up. I don't know if you've been out there lately, but it's looking like a finished product. Getting there, certainly. We do have a pretty lengthy punch list of odds and ends that they're going to be working on. The biggest of is there is some sewer that went in that didn't pass testing along Highway 46. At least it wasn't under the road or anything. But they will be in there in the coming weeks to replace that too. So you'll see some equipment back in there working. But just here to field any questions you might have.
It does look really good.
Yeah, good.
So this is pay application number 4 of.
We could
We're
be
getting
only
close to
5.
10.
Yeah,
Looks like there might be one left
yeah,
of that.
you know,
retainage.
right. Most of what's left is retainage.
Mhm.
You know, and I think that we're probably trending pretty close on the contractor units, like we'll be pretty close to their contract. Overall cost project budget is actually running under. Whatever reason, Excel lighting, which we think we're going to get in December. They can't confirm that that's going to happen, but we think we're going to get the lighting in December. That was about 30,000 less than they originally estimated. And engineering is running under the estimate as well. So I think project budget wise will be below the estimate, which is good.
It's always good. I'll make a motion to payment number 4 for $465,075.42 to the council.
Second.
Okay, looking at it.
All right, the motion's been made and seconded to forward this to full council. Any further discussion?
like they have then FDA.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks for that. All right, so no further discussion. All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
All right, so next on the agenda is an inclement weather policy.
Do we have one now?
Yeah, so is this new? Is this a revision? Okay,
Okay.
So, this was something that Deb brought to me. And I told her to put it on the agenda. I know the library has one.
mhm.
So
So is this going into our full handbook and then it replaces the libraries?
I would say the library, they shut during school.
Yeah.
Currently for weather related emergencies, we follow the school district. So if they delay, we delay, if they close, we close. That works well for weather, but of course, if there's other building emergencies. Do whatever they wanted to do.
So to clean up the employee handbook, then do we add in a provision in here for library closure will follow the school?
I would say that's, yeah, we could put that in.
Because the library has to follow our
Yeah.
employee handbook, so.
Right. So for the library's purposes for weather, inclement weather, they would follow schools.
Aside from that, when I was reading through this, I didn't have any concerns or
Yeah,
questions.
I didn't either one. It all made sense.
So, I mean, I read it over as well, and I don't actually have a problem with sending this to full council. So I guess if everybody else is,
If it's as amended or changed. Including the library
Right.
reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll put the library reference in there
Okay.
as well.
And I don't know if there's anything else in the libraries that's not, it probably would be good to look at the libraries and see if there's inconsistency, so at least we can resolve those before they get fully approved and people are like, what the heck happened here? So,
Yeah, Heather did share that with me.
okay. All right, good. And I'd make a motion to forward with the amendments that we talked about, including library to the full council.
This time I'll second. You can have the next turn.
See, I never get to do these, so.
I know.
I just,
Gotta get
We'll
them all
let you do all the motions.
all right, so motion's been made and seconded for the inclement weather policy to full council with a couple of amendments as we talked about. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So motion carries. And then next is the amendment to the PTO policy.
And that versus anybody who's part-time, over part-time. Over 40, or excuse me, 20 hours per week. They will be code according to the time work during. So we're really focusing in on the part-time.
Is that the change? Is that the only thing that's different?
And this also brings in library as well. Yes, okay. Yeah, I didn't have any other.
Was there anything previously written addressing part-time and, well, part-time from 20 to 30? Has there been anything? Okay, okay. And this is a change that we feel we should make?
I think so. I mean, it should be anybody who works. A part-time employee who worked over 20 years, because before it was anybody who worked. Part-time, we got the PTO,
Mhm.
and there's, if it's under 20 hours a week, I don't think we should be doing PTO. Not full-time status. but still part-time.
Right. Heather, how is this gonna work in with the library? Because I think that that's different than what it's written in the library policies.
It is a little bit different, I believe. The library does have an addendum to the city policy, which addresses some of those differences. So I think that we can bring it to the board, and the library board have to say about this proposal, if they want to go with that one, or keep what's in place.
Okay.
We have just a handful of things that are different.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just recall it being a little bit different, so I just wanted to bring that up, just something to definitely look at. Okay, any further discussion? So anybody want to
motion
make
to-
a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Chaz?
send it on to the council.
And I will second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to forward the personal time off leave PTO policy to full council. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the police chief hiring discussion.
Well, Patty and I would like to get started on this process, so we brought the job posting that we would like to use for that, and kind of a outline of the process where we'll bring it to full council. Excuse me, at the November meeting to then open up the applications. We'll request that all applications and letters of interest are received by 3 o'clock on November 23rd. Patty and I will then start to look at those with scheduling interviews. We're hoping December 2nd. As part of that interview team, we are looking that it would be Patty, myself, and Eric. Since you've done work with the union contract, I'd like to include you on that. And then also we're looking at a couple other police chiefs from municipalities that are similar in size, but not close enough to be influenced by potential candidates. So we're broadening our scope or our net out to other municipalities to get it. We feel it's important that we have a police chief on that interview panel. So that would be the panel we would then interview on the 2nd is what we're looking at right now, December 2nd. Then bring our proposed candidate to council on the 7th of December. With then a hopefully hiring at that point and getting them started sometime in January. So I don't know if, there's probably nothing to do today. I would take a look at what we put together here and we can have a little bit more discussion, but we'd like approval at council to move forward and post that position.
Okay, so no action needed on that one. Next, any public comment or community updates? Anybody here wanna make any announcements for the public or comments or concerns or questions?
Forgot the budget discussion.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry. I was thinking it was weird that we were going right to that. Okay, sorry. Number 6. The budget discussion.
The longest piece.
It's part of the whole meeting. Oh, shoot. Darn it. I tried to skip over
Thought you were
it.
doing good on.
You should have, you were really upbeat when you said public comments and then
You know.
not as upbeat when you brought up. Just
Okay.
notice that.
So our experts, I guess, can.
So I have presented the budget to our budget, our finances to Patty. And per our lease, I would like to request for you guys to put into your budget $25,000 for the 2023 budget for the community center.
To cover operating expenses, is there anything, I mean, I know
Yes.
you were talking previously about repairs, that doesn't include any of that.
No, this is just operating expenses. Mhm.
We had a good meeting with her, Jen.
Yeah, we covered some things that have actually already started to get fixed. Our outside sidewalk right in the front is heaved in spots and they came and ground it down for the winter and see if that helps at least, because I worry about people tripping and shoveling is hard because you stick it. So, and then Jeff found a whole bunch of other things that we'll start working on, possibly getting done maybe this fall, if not this spring for sure too.
And the $25,000 ask, have you seen details about what that's for? And that seems. Okay.
Financials.
Okay. And that baked in the budget already, or is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jen.
Thanks. Thank you.
What tab is that going to?
Rec and education
Mhm.
should be what the first 6-ish lines right at the top.
Oh, I went way too hard.
Have you heard anything from the cemetery?
Yes. Their total increase is like $500 last year. So last year they requested $28,900 something dollars, and they're requesting $29,300. So that is also.
Okay. What's the, since I was looking here, the parks promotion direct, the $50,000 for supplies and expenses, what's in that?
I'm sorry, what?
The supplies and expense for parks and promotions, recreation. It went from 30,000 to 50,000.
Oh, that is mostly just upkeep, a lot of Jeff's time and money to move in the park. But vandalism and just getting older, so a lot of the transfers went from the public works side, more of the park side.
Okay.
So where that increase came in, it was decreased on the other side.
Okay.
All right.
So I have a clear picture of what's happening.
Mhm. Mhm.
Back in the park, yeah. Take them all for it.
So at this point, are you waiting on any other proposed budgets from anyone, or is this?
I'm waiting on our insurance.
Okay.
We're gonna meet with them tomorrow. So. I anticipate that going up. It always does.
Sure.
Mhm.
But this,
It's probably gonna be 11%, just like every other year. I don't wanna say for sure until I meet with them tomorrow. So.
Do we have the libraries?
I think it's the
Budget?
last.
Yeah, there's no budget in there proposed, so.
What I have only is the appropriation, in the city and then their actual. I don't have a breakdown of it. In that sheet.
So is the appropriation the same as what it was last year, or increase or decrease, or?
Decrease. It's at 185 right now.
We communicated that we will make that number work.
Okay,
So, 185, just fine.
okay. And in the budget, all new police radios that went in there, that's what we talked about, right? Was it all new ones that we talked about last month?
The squad ones, yes.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
Not the.
sure. And the fire department got everything they wanted? Well,
Well,
all the things that the fire committee had said.
we could think of more, but.
yeah,
You get a million, you get a million. So the net total increase is, we think, around 4%.
4 to 5.
Yeah, we're not 100% certain, the auditor kind of warned me, he's like, kind of flying blind and waiting on numbers from the state, he's like, it's probably in the 4 to 5.
Mhm.
Okay. And the state would allow us to go up to 8%, but we don't need that, so we're not gonna exercise
Right.
everything that we could do.
We can use it, but.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many increases elsewhere that I don't want to put the burden on the tax.
Right.
I think we're being conservative where we can be, but also having an eye to the future, so we're not letting things pile up and those become very costly changes and fixes when
Well,
things are
Right.
breaking.
some of those things we paid for especially Public Works and a couple other things if we haven't kept up.
Right.
So really, I feel pretty good about where we're at and you could always do better, but
Right.
I think we're in good space.
And we increased the road budget
Yes.
by 50,000. Nice.
Which just about covers the increase in material costs.
Maybe.
So we'll be able to do a mile of road this year.
Not quite.
I haven't seen anything that stands out to me as a major red flag. As anyone else?
No.
No.
No, and so much like with the library and other things, there's a lot of figuring out with this new space. A lot of, we'll know better in the next time around what we're doing and where the costs are and where maybe we can make some improvements. So.
I think the most shocking thing was the insurance. And that's going to be just because of the value of the building.
Sure.
I mean, just what you have to pay to cover it.
Well, we were probably undercovered before,
Oh.
right? I
This
mean,
is,
Well,
might as well say we have an 8 million.
but we had insurance on before.
right. Well, when you start looking at replacement costs, so.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So no action on this until the meeting in November, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Straightforward, we can one.
Yeah.
4 to 5, and I guess quite a few of the other municipalities, that's what they're leaning towards, from what I can tell across the state, Jonathan.
Yes. Well, I appreciate the, early visibility and talking about it well in advance because sometimes it's a lot to digest
It's a
and
lot.
this has been a pretty good process, I think. Thanks.
Mhm. Sure. All right, any more discussion about the budget? I want public comments. All right, so now are there any public comments?
And everybody does, we had trouble with our sound system the last 2 meetings, so.
I don't feel like I'm echoing like I like I
No.
did in the
No.
past. Yeah. All right, I guess no public comment. So, go into closed session. We need closed session. All right, so, closed session, Wisconsin statute 19.85 sub 1 sub C, potential administrative assistant position, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. So can I have a
I'll
motion
make
to
a
go?
motion to go into closed session.
And a second?